From crawling in deep mud or snow to being stuck in a map with no fuel stations. Some of the maps in a SnowRunner are just more difficult, like the number 10 map on this list. At number 10, we have the lowland map in Maine region. When you enter Maine, you enter lowland. This is the first map you need to encounter in this region. Now, right off the bat, this map is very different from the others. In this one, the garage, even though it exists, it's not a fully functional garage. So when you take your vehicles inside the garage, you cannot refuel them or repair them, or you cannot buy new trucks or things like that. You have to do a series of contracts in order to make that garage fully functional, which is a really cool thing, to be honest. But that doesn't make this map that difficult. The different type of terrain that you need to encounter in this map is actually not that easy. There are some areas that even the best trucks in the game would struggle. You have to go through some really deep mud. You have to go through water all the time. And in this map, there is no fuel station. But the good news is the garage is kinda placed at the center of the map, so it kinda makes things a bit easier. But a couple of things that make this map a bit hard. There are a couple of bridges that you cannot fix. They're just broken all the time. You cannot fix them. Some of the warehouses or log stations are placed at areas that is actually very difficult to get there. And once you load up your truck, there are many areas that you could tip over and just lose all your cargo. Overall, so many trucks struggle in this map because of the terrain of it. But the good news is there are some really good and useful shortcuts that could help you a lot in this map. And sometimes just avoiding the main road is the best option. At number 9, we have Big Salmon Peak in Yukon. Big Salmon Peak is a mix of mud and snow, but you encounter snow quite a lot. The muddy and snowy areas are kinda difficult, but most of the problem is the snowy areas. The snowy areas are really difficult. You have to drive through some deep snow in this map, and sometimes the angle of the road is just fantastic. You have to go up some really difficult uphills, like you're really sometimes not sure you can make it or not. And when you're on those roads, it feels like that deep snow is just not going to end. But there is one good main road in this map that makes things a bit easier. It's an icy road, but it's very friendly. And this one road could help you a lot in this map. The best thing you can do in Big Salmon Peak is to avoid the snowy areas, or at least use a very good truck when you're going there. But what makes this map not as difficult is the fact that there are just not many things to do here. Most of the times you're in the other map of this region. Most of the contracts and activities are in that map. Not many of them are in this one. But for the times that you are here, you have to be careful. There are some areas that you could easily get stuck. And another thing that doesn't make this map that bad is the fact that there is a garage in this map. At number 8, we're going to Wisconsin. Black Badger Lake map. This map has one thing in common with the previous one, a good friendly road. It doesn't go around the whole map, but it's a good road. The Black Badger map is like divided into two areas. The west and northwest is really difficult. Deep mud, harsh terrain, you can easily tip over. Sometimes I forget how difficult those areas are in this map. The east side of the map is a bit better. That friendly road exists on the east side of this map. In Black Badger Lake, there are like a couple of paths and this road, and you kind of learn a good path around the whole map that is not that bad, and that one path is going to help you a lot. If you get off that path, you're going to have a rough time. Getting to log stations, warehouses, factories, some of them are in some tough areas, like you could easily tip over or get stuck. But once you recognize which paths you need to take, things get easier. The contracts in this map requires you to deliver a ton of cargo to different places, or just same place, to be honest, sometimes. So knowing which paths to take is very important in this map. And the good news is there are some fuel stations in this map, so fuel is not that big of a problem in Black Badger Lake. At number 7, we have Antonovsky Nature Reserve. This map is in the Dawn region and there is no garage in this map. You have to all the time bring your vehicles and anything that you need from the first map of this region. Now, Antonovsky is just difficult. There is nothing else I can say. Even doing the smallest things in this map is difficult. Like you have to fight with everything to achieve something in this map. I don't think there is even one piece of nice road in this map. And anything you want to do, you have to drive through some really harsh terrain. Most of the times you're just driving at like 5 kilometers in this map. And at first when you enter this map, it's even more difficult because there are some paths that you need to fix and some bridges that you need to fix. And the location of the areas you need to go and to pick up the cargo is like exactly on the opposite side of the map. So you have to travel through the whole map to get to that area. The good news is this map is actually not as big as the normal maps in a SnowRunner. So you don't have to travel that far. But that trip is going to be very slow. At number 6, we have Lake Cove. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but the first map of Kola Peninsula. Let's start with the good part of this map. First of all, I really like this map. It's so beautiful. You know, it has, sometimes you get to these heights and you can see the whole map and it's fantastic view. Such an amazing view to see. This map overall is really beautiful. The second thing, there is this frozen lake in this map. And that frozen lake kinda acts like a nice road. You need chain tires. It's better to have chain tires in this map because you're going to drive on ice a lot. And that frozen lake is going to be a big help if you avoid the breakable ice. Once you avoid the breakable ice, you can just fly through this map. You can get from one point to the other really fast. But now the difficult part. The closer you get to the Imandra tunnel, the more difficult this map gets. It's like the Imandra effect. The snow gets deeper, the roads get more narrow, and sometimes you can't even tell, are you on a road or not? Sometimes you just drive on anything that is available. But the north part and like northwest part of Lake Cove is it's really difficult. The rest of it is not that bad. So if you want to go to the north of this map, take your best trucks. At number 5, we have Flooded Foothills in Yukon. This is the first map of Yukon region. And this map is difficult and frustrating at the same time. There is one piece of road in this map and that piece of road is not nice and you have to go up and down that piece of road all the time. That's pretty much Flooded Foothills. For further explanation, sawmills, log stations, these kind of things are at the really tough areas. Like you have to climb a mountain to get to that sawmill. I just don't understand how they built that thing over there. And then for the remaining cargoes, all of them are like at one end of the road that I just told you about, and every delivery location is like at the other end of it. So again, you have to go up and down that road all the time. And you encounter deep mud a lot. When you get to like northeast side of Flooded Foothills, things get even more serious. Breakable ice is there. You have to climb a mountain to get there. You have to drive through this like rock field, big boulders, rocks all the time, just destroying your truck. Overall, I think this is the only map that is difficult, yes, but frustrating too. The remaining maps are, yes, some of them are really difficult, but they don't annoy you. This one just annoys you. At number 4, we have Yellow Rock National Forest in Maine. This is the second map of this region, and there is no garage in this map. You know, when it comes down to what are the most difficult maps in SnowRunner, I think the most underrated one is this one, Yellow Rock National Forest. This thing is actually difficult. You basically have to encounter any type of terrain. The chances of getting stuck in snow, in breakable ice, or mud are actually really high, and the chances of tipping over is even higher. Like when you have cargo on your truck and your truck is not like the most stable truck in the game, there is a high chance that you're going to tip over. I personally have tipped over in this map a lot, and there are some places that are so difficult to have access to. There's like, I think it was the factory, and the path, it's not a path, but whatever it is that you need to take to get to that factory is like hell. It destroys your truck and then you can go to that factory. Some of the roads are like on a 45-degree angle, ready to flip your truck over. Some other roads are buried in snow. You have to drive through such a deep snow that it's just unbelievable. And of course, the breakable ice. The best thing is to just stick to the sides or go for a truck that is really capable. But the Yellow Rock National Forest, I think overall is one of the most difficult maps in the game. And there is a fuel station in this map, but as I remember, you need to complete a task to get that fuel station up and running. At number 3, we have one of the most famous maps in the game. Imandra in Kola Peninsula. This was the first map where people realized how difficult this game could get. There is a garage in Imandra, but you need to unlock it first. And it's not one of those garages that you need to just go there in order to unlock it. You have to do some missions to get that garage up and running. Once you get that garage up and running, things get a bit easier. But why Imandra is really difficult? Well, because of the terrain of this map, most of the times you have to crawl. You can't drive your trucks anymore. You just have to crawl. Many roads are completely unfriendly and so many different trucks would easily get stuck. And something that makes this map even more scarier or even more difficult in my head is when it was released, people didn't have access to Zig 605R or Zig 612H or Kenworth 963. You had to complete this map, drive through the roads in this map, drive through that really deep snow with like white Western Star. Your best truck at the time was like Tega 6436, I think. So driving through this map with those trucks was even a more difficult challenge. But Imandra is definitely one of the most difficult maps in a SnowRunner. At number 2, we have the Northern Edges installation. This map is in a moor, there is no garage in this map, and I think this is a map that so many people would consider the most difficult map in a SnowRunner. But that place, I'm gonna give it to another map. Now, the Northern Edges installation, why is it difficult? Well, there is nothing there, you have to bring everything from other maps. There is one fuel station in this map. Getting to that fuel station is harder than getting to the moon. There are so many obstacles in your way when you want to get to that fuel station that sometimes you're like, never mind, I'm gonna bring my own fuel. And the roads in this map are just really unfriendly. Getting stuck in this map is one of the easiest things to do. There are some parts of some of the roads that are not that bad. You can kind of drive a bit fast. But on the other hand, there are some roads that, good lord, they are extremely difficult, like extremely deep snow. So because there is nothing really in this map, you have to bring everything you need from other maps. And you have to drive through some really harsh terrain. All those things together make this map one of the most difficult maps in the game. And at number 1, the most difficult map in a SnowRunner, the Esar River. Now, I know the Northern Edges installation is difficult, but part of the reason why that map is so difficult is this one, Esar River. You have to drive through this hell in order to get to that one. And boy oh boy, this map is not a joke. Let me just start from the very beginning. You go to a moor, you go to Esar River, this is the first map of this region. You get out of the garage, you wanna do your scouting. You go north, you fail. You go west, you fail. You go east, you fail. And you go south, you fail. Why do you fail all the time? Every path, every bridge is broken. Every path is blocked. Every bridge is broken. So the first bit of this map is failing. After that, you do scouting. After that, you fix the bridges. You get rid of the rocks on the roads, things like that. After that, you get to actually start your first contract. And that there, I think, is the most difficult thing that you have to do in this game. I don't think any map has a more difficult start than Esar River. When you wanna get things up and running in this map, you're going to suffer. Things are extremely difficult in this map. And it doesn't get that much better, of course. Things would improve. Once you build those bridges or things like that, things get a bit better. But so many of the roads in this map, especially the ones that go to northern Aegis installation, are not really that nice. Deep mud or snow, narrow roads, trees and stumps in the middle of the road, areas that it's extremely easy to lose the control of your truck and tip over. In this map, you have to fight with everything. You have to fight with trees, stumps, rocks, ice, mud, snow. You have to fight with them all. So all in all, I think Esar River is by far the most difficult map in a SnowRunner. Something I want to mention though, the other maps of Amur obviously are really difficult, but I didn't consider those ones in this list because I didn't want half of this list be Amur and Amur only. But yes, the other maps of Amur are really difficult too. And that's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.